Bonjour and welcome back to Paris Top Tips. Every year, public transport in Paris evolves. New fares, new tickets, new tools, and sometimes brand new ways of getting around. So if you're planning a trip to Paris in 2026, this video is your complete, up-to-date guide to public transport in the French capital. I'll explain how the Paris Metro works, how to take buses, trams and RER trains, which tickets and passes to choose, and the differences between Navigo Easy, Navigo Découverte, and the phone app, including what has changed this year and what visitors really need to know to avoid mistakes. And for this 2026 update, I'm filming from a brand new piece of Paris transport infrastructure, Cable C1, the city's first urban cable car here in the southeast of Paris. A symbolic setting for a video about how Paris keeps modernizing the way we move around the city. Let's get started.
Because this is a complete 2026 guide, it's structured into chapters, so you can navigate straight to the information that matters to you. Paris is the center of a very complex transport system. The Paris region is covered with a dense mesh of bus, tram, metro and train service networks. For Paris and its inner suburbs alone, there are 16 metro lines, 347 bus lines, 10 tram lines and 5 RER lines, and, brand new this year, a cable car. Oh yes, I forgot, there's also a funicular. Let's dig a little deeper. First, Paris is introducing a brand new metro train, the MF19, often described as the metro of the future. It's currently being deployed on line 10 and will gradually roll out on lines 3, 7, 8, 12 and 13. As I mentioned earlier, Cable 1 is the first cable car operated within the Paris transport network. Stretching 4.5 km, it connects 5 stations and works as an extension of Metro Line 8. The Paris Metro, short for Métropolitain, is a rapid transit system, mostly underground, and 246 km long. There are 321 stations, so wherever you are in Paris, you are never more than 500 meters away from a metro station. There are 16 lines of metro, and 3 of them, lines 1, 4 and 14, are automated. Metros run every 2 to 3 minutes in peak hour and every 5 to 6 minutes off-peak hours. The Réseau Express Régional, commonly abbreviated RER, is a hybrid commuter rail and rapid transit system serving Paris and its suburbs. It acts as a combined Paris city center underground rail system and suburbs to city center commuter rail. The RER network consists of 5 lines A, B, C, D and E and has 257 stations, 33 of which are within the city of Paris. In the city center, it functions similarly to the Paris Metro, but it's faster and has fewer stops. The Paris region is served by 15 tramway lines, mostly in suburban areas. However, lines T3A and T3B operate entirely within the city limits of Paris, and as seen in this footage, line T2 also traverses part of its route within the city. Paris bus lines interconnect all points of the capital and its closest suburban cities. There are 61 bus lines operating in Paris that have a terminus within the city limits and 300 more lines in the suburbs. The Montmartre funicular carries passengers between the base of Montmartre and its summit, accessing the nearby Sacré-Cœur Basilica. The funicular is considered to be part of the Paris Metro network and so has similar pricing. Regarding metro schedules, the initial metro service began at 5:30 in the morning, with the final metro departing at 1:15 am, except on Friday and Saturday evenings, when the service extends until 2:15 am. To locate a metro station, simply keep an eye out for a prominent yellow M on the street. Just be cautious not to mistake it for a McDonald's. Here is one of the most beautiful metro entrances in Paris, the Abbesse station in Montmartre. As we'll see in the next chapter, you will enter the metro using a Navigo Easy or Découverte card, or your mobile phone. You just have to approach any gate and simply pass your card or phone over the designated purple area. Once you're inside, keep an eye out for signs like these. Within, you'll discover the line number, its terminus on one side, and a comprehensive list of all stops, along with connections to other metro and RER lines. Additionally, various information screens are available for your convenience. On this screen, you can view the estimated arrival times of the next metros at this station, along with information regarding any disruptions on other metro or RER lines. This other screen provides information on above-ground bus routes, indicating their arrival times if applicable. On the platform, you'll always find a sign displaying the waiting time for the next two trains. In most metros, the doors open automatically. However, be cautious, as in others, you may need to press a button and, as seen here, sometimes lift a latch. On the three automated lines, 1, 4 and 14, you'll encounter automatic double doors. Various metro lines boast different interior designs. Regardless, if you find yourself close to the doors, exercise caution and stay vigilant against pickpockets.
Beware of pickpockets.
Similarly, in the RER, the organization varies depending on whether the train has a single floor or two floors. The previous one was on line A, and this one is the RER B at Charles de Gaulle Airport. Be aware that on the RER, unlike the metro, you'll also need to validate your card when exiting the station. On the bus, similar to metro stations, you must either validate your Navigo card or phone by placing it on a purple surface, or insert the ticket purchased on board into the designated machine. As you approach your bus stop, remember to press the stop button to signal the driver to open the doors for you. The process is identical for tramways as it is for buses. Either validate your Navigo card or phone on the purple surface, or insert a ticket into the designated machine. On paper, Paris transport is good value, cheaper than London and similar to New York. But the pricing logic is very French, which means it's not always as simple as it should be, despite the simplifications introduced in 2025. Let's look at this in detail. This was a Paris Metro cardboard ticket, but 2025 marked a revolutionary change in Paris transport pricing. No more cardboard tickets. Traditional paper tickets are now history. Instead, you now use rechargeable cards or digital solutions, which are somewhat more convenient and eco-friendly. Also, before 2025, the price depended on the distance you traveled. Now, it's a single flat fare, regardless of how far you go within the Paris region.
No more confusing zones. No need to worry if you are in zone 1 or in zone 5 or somewhere in between. You'll pay the same fare whether you're zipping across the city or journeying to the far reaches of Île-de-France.
For 2026, it's €2.55 for the Metro RER or train, and €2.05 for the bus or tram.
Sounds simple, right? Well, hold on just a second, because this revolution doesn't quite mean total simplicity. We're still going to have two different tickets. Yep, one for the metro and trains, and the other one for buses and trams. So if you're dreaming for one magical ticket that would let you hop from a bus to a metro without second thought, dream on. Two tickets, two prices, and yes, you'll still need to pay separately for a connection between, say, a bus and a RER.
Since January 2025, those two tickets replace all others. If you're taking the train, RER or metro, your journey will now cost €2.55, no matter where you're headed, even if you're traveling to the farthest reaches of Île-de-France. For example, if you're heading to Versailles or Disneyland, the one-way fare will just be €2.55 per person. And if you're taking the bus or tram, your journey will cost only €2.05 no matter where you're going. But beware, the Metro Train RER ticket is only valid on Metro, Train and RER lines, while the bus tram ticket is only valid on bus and tram lines. So if you're making a connection between, say, the RER and a bus, you'll need two separate tickets. Both of these tickets will also be available at a reduced rate for children under 10 and disabled people. The only exception to this flat fare rule is airport travel. Getting to or from Charles de Gaulle and Orly has its own pricing. You'll have to pay €14 in 2026 to reach the Orly airport via Metro Line 14 or RERB plus Orlyval. The same €14 ticket allows you to reach Charles de Gaulle airport via the RER Line B. So, if paper tickets are gone, where exactly do you put the new digital ones? That's where the Navigo solutions come in. Navigo Easy and Navigo Découverte cards. And since the system can feel a bit complex, I'm going to answer the 10 most common questions about Navigo cards. Let's start with the basics. The Navigo Easy Pass is a rechargeable card for occasional travelers. It works like an electronic wallet where you can load metro tickets, bus tickets, airport tickets and day passes. It's perfect if you're staying just a few days and don't need unlimited travel. Navigo Easy is non-nominative, so it can be loaned or transferred. It costs €2. On the other hand, the Navigo Découverte is only holding passes, daily, weekly or monthly, that allows unlimited travel over the Paris region, except for the airports on the day pass. It's ideal if you're in Paris for a full week and plan to take a lot of transport. This card is personalized, which means you need a photo to use it, and it's non-transferable. It costs €5. You can purchase Navigo Easy Passes at Metro and RER station ticket counters or from ticket machines, such as these. You've got the old machines with the rollers, and the newer touchscreen machines. If you don't have a Navigo Easy card yet, touch on You don't have a Navigo Pass. Then select Tickets and choose if you want metro train or bus tram tickets. This tells you that you are going to purchase one or many Navigo Easy cards to load your tickets on. And here you can choose to purchase up to 5 Navigo Easy cards, full fare or reduced fare for kids aged 4 to 9. Let's purchase one full fare card. Now you have to choose how many tickets you want to load on your Navigo Easy card. I'll purchase 2 tickets. As you can see, I can use a credit card, banknotes or coins. Just wait for a few seconds. And there you have it, your Navigo Easy card loaded with 2 metro tickets. The Navigo Découverte is not available at machines. You need to buy it in person at a ticket counter for €5. You'll find these counters in most metro stations, but beware, the counters at Orly and Charles de Gaulle airports don't sell Navigo Découverte cards anymore. Which is really a pity. They want to force you to purchase an airport ticket on a Navigo Easy card. Here is what you will get for €5. You have 3 elements, a plastic container, the Navigo Découverte card, and the client identification part. Let me show you how to put your photo or name on it. First, you need a photo of you. I'll show you in the next chapter how to easily get one at metro and RER stations. Peel off the protective paper and adjust your ID photo on the sticky zone. Now you have to write your name and surname. Separate the paper part from the plastic cover and stick it on the second paper part where your name and photo are. And finally, you can assemble the 3 elements together. So, where can I get the required photo for my Navigo Découverte card? The easiest way to get one is at a point service or a photomaton like this one at Charles de Gaulle Airport, which are photo booths found at most metro stations. What a great mugshot! So, what are the costs incurred? As we've seen, the Navigo Easy card itself costs €2, and you can then load it with tickets that cover all zones, metro RER train tickets at €2.55, bus tram tickets at €2.05. Then you can also load on the Easy card airport tickets at €14. And finally, Navigo Day passes that enable unlimited travel in the Paris region, at the exception of airports, for a whole day. The Navigo Découverte card costs €5 and the weekly pass is €32.40, giving you unlimited travel throughout the region, including airports. It is valid from Monday to Sunday, but does not cover a rolling 7-day period. you can purchase it starting from the Friday before the week begins until Thursday of that same week. We've already seen how to purchase a Navigo Easy or a Navigo Découverte card. Now let's see how we can upload new tickets or passes on these cards. You can do it on the white and blue machines we've seen before, but you can also do it on the purple Navigo machines like this one. Place your Navigo card on the purple container. Here, I will upload a weekly pass on my new Navigo Découverte card. Press Buy, and then choose between a day, a weekly or a monthly travel pass. Press on zones 1 and then 5 to get the best value for money solution covering the whole Paris region. And now, you just have to pay using your credit card. Here's a question I often get. Can 2 or more people share the same Navigo card or phone app? The answer is no. Each traveler must have their own pass. Even if a Navigo Easy, Navigo Découverte, or a phone with the IDF Mobilité app has multiple tickets, only one person can use it at a time. A Navigo Easy card is anonymous, so you can share it or pass it one to someone else, but you can't use 2 tickets from it at the same time. Navigo Découverte and a phone app are strictly personal and can't be used by someone else. So, which tickets or pass on which card? On a Navigo Découverte, you can only have 2 passes of each category, day, weekly or monthly. For example, you can have at the same time a pass for week N and a pass for week N plus 1, but not for N plus 2 then. A Navigo Easy card can contain up to 20 metro train RER tickets, 20 bus tram tickets, and 20 airport tickets. But, and this is really a pain, it can't contain at the same time a metro train RER ticket and a Paris region to airport ticket. And if you have an old Navigo Easy card with some remaining unused T Plus tickets, same problem. You won't be able to purchase new metro train RER tickets before all the old T Plus tickets have been used. Finally, it can also contain up to 2 Paris visit passes and 2 Navigo day passes. So, how can I use the different Navigo cards to get to the airports of Roissy-Charles de Gaulle and Orly? On your Navigo Easy, you can load either an airport ticket using the RER-B to Charles de Gaulle Airport, or an airport ticket using either the RER-B and Orlyval, or the Metro Line 14 to Orly. Just remember that a day pass on a Navigo Easy card enables you to get anywhere in the region, at the exception of these 2 airports. For those who have been to Paris before, both the Orly bus service to Orly and the Roissy bus to Charles de Gaulle have been discontinued. The weekly pass on a Navigo Découverte card enables unlimited travel to and from the airports, via all transport modes except the Orlyval. Here also, a day pass on a Navigo Découverte does not enable you to get to the airports. How do I reach the Palace of Versailles or Disneyland Paris, and at what cost? You can reach the Palace of Versailles using the RER-C to Versailles Château Rive Gauche, and Disneyland using the RER-A to Marne-la-Vallée-Chessy. You can reach Versailles or Disneyland with just 1 metro train RER ticket at €2.55. Of course, if you have a Navigo Day or Navigo Weekly Pass, these 2 destinations are included. Paper tickets are no longer sold since the beginning of 2025, but if travelers still have old ones, they can convert them at service booths to digital ones, but only until the 1st of June 2026. Now let me show you how to use your smartphone as the easiest and cheapest way to pay for public transport in Paris. or your Samsung Galaxy or Apple Watch if you have one. To make payment via smartphone, you'll need an app. But because we're in France, in a land where simplicity seems to be a rare commodity, you've got not one, not two, but three options. Bonjour RATP by the RATP, the Paris Metro Company, SNCF Connect by the French National Railway Company, and lastly, there's EDF Mobilité, the master application that the other two simply emulate. Hence, EDF Mobilité is the one we'll be using for this video. Île-de-France Mobilité is the brand name of the Syndicat des Transports d'Île-de-France, the organization authority that controls and coordinates the different transport companies operating in the whole Paris and Île-de-France region. Île-de-France Mobilité is also an app that is available for most Android smartphones and on iPhones too. Using this incredibly useful app, you can easily locate your desired destination on a map, then search for the best transport solutions to go there and the best route. You can also receive all the necessary information on network disruptions and current interruptions. But the main feature for me is the ability to purchase very easily your ticket or your pass, and then use your smartphone as the tool to validate your right to travel. For Android phones, to load titles into your NFC-enabled device, secure storage of titles is essential. This service is available on the majority of phones, starting from Android version 8. So, your smartphone is NFC compliant. You still have to make sure that NFC is enabled then. For this, go on the settings of your smartphone, search for NFC, and then make sure that you can use NFC. Now, let's install the Île-de-France Mobilité app from the Play Store on Android or the App Store on iOS. Search for Île-de-France Mobilité, as displayed on the screen. Then, click on Install and wait for the app to be ready to use. There we are. Let's click on Open. You have to allow the notifications and approve the privacy policy. You can then take a look at a few interesting information pages, on which I will go fast for this video. Now you have to allow the app to access your location. Okay, let's click on the Purchase button. You have to allow call management by the app for it to test the compatibility of your phone. You then get a few more information screens. You can also use the app to upload your Navigo Easy or Navigo Découverte card if you have one, but that's not what we are interested about in this video. With the app, you'll be able to pay with your credit card, with Samsung Pay on a Samsung device and Apple Pay on an iPhone. Now, let's see what we can purchase with the app. Just click on Purchase at the bottom of the screen, and as you can see, the app shows me what tickets or pass I still have on my phone. Let's click on Purchase a ticket. I then can choose single tickets. Those will be airport tickets, metro train tickets or bus tram tickets. Clicking on Day tickets will lead you to the €12 Navigo one-day pass. Then you can choose for which day you want to purchase this pass. And clicking on Package will lead you to the rather useless Paris Visit passes and to the weekly or monthly Navigo pass. On the Bonjour RATP and the SNCF Connect apps, the display will be a bit different, but you'll be able to purchase exactly the same tickets or passes. Now let's add a Navigo weekly pass on the smartphone. I have to have a Connect account in order to add a Navigo pass on my smartphone. Beware, you can create a Connect account only if you have a phone number from one of the 49 countries listed onto a list that you will find at the URL on the screen. Scroll down to No account yet and create your account. When this is done, tick the box on Confirm. Now I just have to add a photo of me. It can be made right now or I can select a photo on my smartphone. The photo is here to be able to identify you in case of control. Okay, let's take a picture. What a handsome guy! So now I can purchase my weekly pass. Add your email, which will be used to send you a receipt, tick the box and click on Buy. Add your credit card details. Confirm with your bank app. And you're done. The weekly pass is being loaded on your smartphone. Since May 2024, Apple users can use their iPhone or Apple Watch to travel on the Île-de-France region public transport network. It's an option long awaited by Apple users and one whose implementation kept being delayed. From now on, your Navigo Pass is seamlessly integrated into your iPhone right within the Apple Wallet app called Apple Carte in French. But, and it's a big but, while you can purchase tickets and passes directly within your Apple Wallet, not all options are available. Some subscriptions cannot be managed from the iPhone or Apple Watch. The Apple Wallet allows you to buy single metro or bus tickets, full fare and half fare, airport tickets and Navigo day passes directly. However, to purchase weekly and monthly Navigo passes, you need to use the official Île-de-France Mobility app, just like on Android phones. And just like on Android phones, purchasing a Navigo monthly or weekly pass to be loaded onto your iPhone or connected watch requires authentication on Île-de-France Mobilité Connect. As a reminder, this authentication is mandatory in order to be able to identify you during a ticket control. So, at last, all modern smartphone users, including Apple iPhones, can use their phones to validate their ticket in the Paris Metro. Let's go in the metro and try this. Be sure to have your smartphone switched on, with NFC enabled, and pass it above the purple zone. You see? It works! Do you own a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, 5 or 6 or an Apple Watch? You can now also validate without contact at the station, directly with your connected watch. This short film created by Île-de-France Mobilité explains how to do it. To validate your public transport journey using a Samsung Galaxy Watch, you'll need the following: an Android phone version 8 minimum with the Île-de-France Mobilité application, and a Samsung Galaxy Watch 4, 5 or 6 connected to your smartphone via Bluetooth. Then you just have to open the app and in the purchase section select Sur ma Samsung Galaxy Watch. It's the same process as per storing tickets on your phone, except it will be on your watch, which will then be used to validate your journey. It works roughly the same way with Apple Watches. I hope this video will be useful to you. If you have any question, I always answer to all comments.